How did you get started into photography? How can one join respective collective? What I thought looked good, I was like, okay, slay, and then I posted it. How do you find bands to work with? I really love taking pictures of women because they just get it and they slay. Okay, like... If you don't know me, my name's Amanda. I'm a concert photographer and videographer. Today's video is gonna be a Q&A. I asked you guys on my Instagram to ask me some questions, so I'm gonna be going through the questions you guys have for me. All right, question number 1. How did you get started into photography? It's actually pretty crazy. I wasn't originally a photographer. I've been shooting videos ever since I was really little. I would make some really embarrassing videos that are never going to see the light of day. But on the side, I would always take my friends' Instagram photos, and then they would always have me edit the photos for their Instagram because they just loved the way I edit. So at that point, I honestly should have known that this is how this was gonna go, but I thought I was gonna be a videographer in Hollywood, making movies, directing movies. Hopefully that is still gonna be happening soon in my future. But yeah, basically I would just be doing BTS photos for respective collective. New hoodie just dropped. I will link it in the bio, shoprespectivecollective.com. But yeah, I would always take BTS photos on set during music videos, and now I'm head of photo for the company, which is really crazy. Person asked, favorite person to take a picture of? The real answer, women. I really love taking pictures of women because they just get it and they slay. But if I'm gonna answer this seriously, honestly, I think Lil Uzi's a really awesome performer, and I always get like the craziest shots of him. Another good performer is Ski Mask, The Slump God, Trippie Redd. I just feel like they bring a lot of energy. Basically, any artist or subject that brings a lot of energy to the table makes shooting so much easier and way more fun. I feel like I get really creative with it. If you could go back to yourself post-grad, what would you say? It's okay to be doing something completely different than what you thought you were going to be doing. I don't know why post-grad I was so stuck on I have to be in Hollywood, I'm going to be directing movies, I'm gonna be working on sets and stuff. But yeah, anyways, I feel like that really fed into my imposter syndrome when I was starting out in photo. I was kind of just like, what the hell am I doing with my life? Yeah, everything's fine, you'll figure it out, just go with the flow is what I would say. This person asked, how did you get so good at editing in Lightroom? Did you take any classes? First of all, that's literally the nicest thing ever. Second of all, no. And I remember I would get a lot of backlash when I would be posting my editing tutorials in the beginning and people saying, that's not how you're supposed to, like, that's not the textbook, da 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 da. Okay. Like, how I learned in Lightroom was trial and error. What I thought looked good, I was like, okay, slay, and then I posted it. There's really no answer on right or wrong. I feel like just go off of the vibes when you have the photo in Lightroom. I don't know. But on a real answer, if you really are wanting to improve and make the most out of your photos, I would highly suggest watching editing tutorials like the ones that I post or any other creator on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Figure out how they do stuff, but try to make it your own, because at the end of the day, people are really gonna only want to hire you based on your style, what you create, if that makes sense. I can show you some of my first photos that I ever edited when I first opened the Lightroom app. They were literally horrible. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. With years of practice, it's been about like 3.5 years now of me editing concert photos. I feel like I've really gotten a hand on what I really like. This person asked if there's a quick turnaround, do you ever resend photos after you're editing? Which, yes. Especially if I'm live editing on my phone, when it's super, super fast, they're like, I need the photo literally immediately after you take it off of your camera. Especially if I know I'm gonna post the photos, I will go back and edit them and they will look completely different than what I was gonna post. I'll show you an example of this little yachty photo that I took at Rolling Loud. I edited this one on my phone and it ended up looking like this, and the final product was so much better. I'm gonna put the final product right here.
So a little editor's note, clearly that's not the same angle, but you get the gist. The color on that first photo was literally horrendous. I don't know what I was thinking. That's why I re-edit my photos. All right, carry on.
Literally crazy. I went back and edited that and I was like, thank God I did that. This person asked, what helped you lately to improve your quality? And for that, I say I upgraded my camera about 1.5 years ago now, and before I was totally fine with taking pictures on my A7S III, which if you don't know, it's like 12 megapixels when you're taking pictures, and the A7 IV is I think 32, which is obviously a crazy difference than what I was using before. And the difference in quality, and like, I used to crazy crop with that camera and I thought it ate, which in theory it did. I would say stepping up your gear is a good start on improving quality, and then the other step is just improving your editing skills, really figuring out how to correct skin tones and make lighting look even and perfect. I think that really helps. This person asked, how do you find bands to work with? An easy thing that you can do is look up bands that are performing in your area. Like a quick Google search, find out all the artists that are performing in your area within the next few months, and write down the lower to mid-level artists and bands, the ones that maybe don't have a crazy amount of traction on Instagram, and literally hit them up. If you don't have a lot of experience, I would recommend offering to shoot their show. I feel like that's a really good way to build up your portfolio to be able to shoot for the bigger artists, which leads me to the next question. How did you work up to photographing the bigger artists? It's literally starting with the smaller artists and working up your portfolio to be able to prove that you can shoot these bigger artists. Unfortunately, another thing that helps is building a following. So unfortunately, people care about the number of followers you have, which if you are continuing to create and take more photos and improve your portfolio, you should be documenting that with Reels, TikTok. Trust me when I say the difference in the way that people treated me and the way that I get jobs has changed drastically over the years. When I had a little bit more of a following is kind of crazy. It sucks, but I would use it to your advantage. The last question, and the most famous and most asked question I always get, is how can one join respective collective? The short answer is obviously if you live in New York or able to travel to New York, please attend one of our events. We love meeting people face to face. It helps us put a name to the face, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I highly suggest coming to any of our events if you can, or if you're shooting at a concert or festival and you see one of us in the pit, please come up to us and say hi. And again, helps us put a name to the face. But yeah, that's all the questions I have. Comment below if this is helpful or if you would like me to do this again. And yeah, bye.